At mid-18th century, also the preeminence of Venice on health matters began to shake. Other centers were emerging in the Mediterranean, notably free ports such as Trieste and Livorno. Very briefly, a free port is a port in which people enjoy special freedoms of economic but also civil and religious nature. Trade could be conducted by paying very low taxes, or sometimes not even paying any. Anyone, regardless of nationality and religion, was free to participate in the city's life and to practice their own cult. The first free port was established in Genoa in 1590 as an experiment to deal with a supply crisis. In fact, these were the years of the so-called Little Ice Age, a period of climate change that affected our planet for about 2 centuries, causing temperatures to drop and therefore the loss of cereal crops that could not survive in the new, more rigid climate. Certainly, the experiment, destined to have more success both in reality and in the imagination of the early modern age, was that of Livorno, declared a free port with a series of laws promulgated by the Grand Duke Ferdinand de' Medici between 1591 and 1593. During the 18th century, Livorno was one of the most important hubs of global trade. Yet, its reputation as a safe port, as far as health is concerned, was much more uncertain. The rumors spread by Genoa and Marseille on the occasion of the plague continued to cast a shadow over the Tuscan port. Taking advantage of this bad reputation, still at mid-century, the ships passing through Livorno were subjected to more rigorous controls and measures in many of the ports of the Italian peninsula, starting with those of the Papal States, such as Civitavecchia, or the Kingdom of Naples, such as the capital itself or Messina. It was said that the health authorities of Livorno were not strict enough in their controls, and this represented a threat, especially as Tuscany has recently signed a trade treaty with the principalities of North Africa, where the plague was endemic. It was actually a pretext to contrast the rise of Livorno, which, however, did not stand by. The Tuscan authorities took steps to set up an information network like the Venetian one and began to share health news with neighboring states to show their efficiency in the matter. A suspicion of plague in Algeria in 1754 was the perfect opportunity. After initially denying that it was true, saying that it was false news circulated by Genoa to damage Livorno, the health magistrate of Florence, however, carried out a wide-ranging investigation, managing to confirm that indeed an epidemic was in progress, and promptly informing the other Mediterranean powers, which gradually began to remove all ties to the Tuscan ships. Venice itself asked information about the plague to the Tuscan authorities. As Giovanni Baldasseroni, the Livorno Chancellor of Health, said, it was now the time for Livorno to establish the rule for others, rather than to receive them. Livorno began to be seen as a model for management of health, so much that when Trieste, which was also growing, decided to build a new lazaret, it did not look at nearby Venice, where the first lazarets were born, but at Livorno. After more than a decade of debates, it was with the advice of Baldasseroni that the project for the new lazaret was finally approved. The new lazaret was inaugurated with great fanfare and with the minting of commemorative coins in 1769. As in the best of virtuous circles, once inaugurated with such a wide echo, the Trieste lazaret became the model to which the Livorno authorities themselves looked to modernize their lazarets. thus marking the emergence also of Trieste as an important center for the development of health practices.